video, I am going to discuss book 1 of Paradise Lost. We all know that Paradise Lost is written by John Milton. It is an epic. Actually, it is a secondary epic. At the beginning of Paradise Lost, Milton seeks help from God so that he can accomplish such a great work as writing an epic. And he also informs his readers that his main aim of writing this epic is to justify God's action towards man. He informs that man were disobedient to God, and uh, God took an action against this disobedience of man. So here Milton wants to justify uh, God's action towards man. Now let us move on. We see that Satan is punished by God, and Satan keep suffering in a fiery lake of hell. And there Satan stayed for 9 days and 9 nights. Uh, Actually, he lies unconscious there for a long time, and after 9 days and 9 nights of unconsciousness, Satan comes back to consciousness, and he actually looks around him while suffering in the hell. First of all, we actually come to know how much suffering Satan has, how much pain Satan has in the hell. We can get a description of the hell from Satan's mouth. We know that hell is full of darkness, though there is fire. Actually, this fire doesn't emit any light, rather darkness. So hell is full of darkness, and also there is no hope, only disappointment everywhere. And also there is sufferings and pain. So hell is a place of utter suffering, and Satan has been suffering there for 9 days and 9 nights. So after his consciousness, he looks around and finds his assistant, his chief assistant Beelzebub, and he calls upon Beelzebub, and without any delay, Beelzebub responds to the call of Satan. And Beelzebub says that he can remember that he was Satan's follower in the haven, and he also can remember how both of them fought bravely against God. And when Satan sees that Beelzebub can remember him, Satan is delighted, and actually Satan starts motivating Beelzebub, saying that they are suffering extremely in the hell, and they want to do something. And we see that Beelzebub very quickly endorses Satan's plan. He says that he agrees with Satan in terms of doing something against God. Again, actually, they are suffering in the hell because before they are thrown into the hell, they actually fought against God. They actually waged a war against God, and they were defeated in that battle against God. Now they are suffering in the hell. Okay. And later we see that Satan says that they are suffering still, but still they have a lot of things which are positive. He says that they have indomitable will, I mean a strong willpower, and also they have courage. So courage and willpower, they can use against God again. uh, mm, when Satan sees that there are extreme sufferings in the fiery lake, so they thought that they can actually get out of it. And both of them, Satan and Beelzebub, went out of the fiery lake, and they actually went on the bank. And in the fiery lake, there was liquid fire, and on the land there was a solid fire, according to Milton's language. Anyways, land was land was more comfortable for Satan and Beelzebub to discuss their plans. Later, Satan continues to motivate. Uh, Satan continues to motivate Beelzebub. Satan has a very good influential ability, and he is a very good speaker. When he motivates Beelzebub, we will see his ability as a motivational speaker, and also we will see Satan's Satan's speaking skill, Satan's convincing skill. Okay, let us go ahead. Satan says to Beelzebub that mind is the main thing. Mind is the main thing. External suffering doesn't matter. So if mind is happy, they can make hell into heaven. If mind is happy, but on the other hand, if mind is happy, external happiness will not work for them, will not be of any use for them. When their mind is when their mind is unhappy, external happiness will not matter. Rather, actually, they for mental unhappiness, their heaven will will transform into hell. So mental happiness actually is the main thing, according to Satan, and this is what he communicates to his second in command, Beelzebub. He wants to inform Beelzebub that they are in the hell. They have to accept this this suffering. If through this suffering, even through this suffering, if they feel happy, actually the external pains they undergo doesn't matter at all. So this is how this is the first point of Satan that he communicates to Beelzebub. Another point which we can consider very important, when Satan says that to reign, to rule, is the main thing, is the main purpose of them. And Satan says to Beelzebub that to serve, to reign in the hell is better than to serve in the heaven. Just look one thing that Satan says to Beelzebub, that he very much feels he feels that serving in heaven is not a good thing. Rather, ruling, rather, being boss in the hell is a very good idea. So he says that it is better to reign in the hell than serve in the heaven. So this is how Satan motivates his second in command, Beelzebub. He says that now we are living in the hell, and hell is worth living for both of us, for all of us. We have to accept this suffering. Later, Satan goes on to call upon other fallen angels who followed him. Still, they are suffering in the fiery lake. He actually sarcastically call upon them, saying that, "Will you suffer, or will you come out?" Okay, and in his language, he says that, "Awake, arise, or be fallen forever." So when the fallen angels, I mean followers of Satan, actually heard this kind of commanding tone of their boss Satan, they immediately responded, "Yes, we are ready. We are coming out of the fiery lake." And all of them came and followed Satan. So Satan now has Beelzebub and also multitude of followers. You know that a big number of angel actually followed Satan in order to oppose God, and they are in big number. In Milton's language, it is one third. So now that Satan have a lot of followers, he actually has made up a plan. His plan is to actually cause some pain to God. He knows very well that God loves man. So his first aim is to deviate man from God's path. So he sends some of his chief followers, some chief followers to God, and his chief followers takes the shape of heathen god, demigod, and human being on the earth, abandon their true god, and they start, I mean human beings start to worship those demigod instead of true god. So Satan actually considers this success of him, because when a man abandons god and worship those demigod, those hidden gods, it is a kind of success of Satan. Actually, those hidden gods uh, are uh, are shape, are earthly shape of Satan's followers. Okay, so among those gods, one is Moloch. Moloch was a very cruel god, and Ammonites would worship him. He was so cruel that he demanded, sacrifice of children. When children were sacrificed for him, drums were beaten loud, so that parents could not hear the children's crying while sacrifice was underway. So this is how actually people would worship Moloch. So he was a very cruel god, and this is actually one way how man in the earth was deviated from true God. Another God we see is Chemus. Okay, Chemus would love licentious worship. Licentious worship was offered to Chemus, and licentiousness is not approved by Christian God. So it is another deviation from human being, which God actually doesn't approve at all. And another god, which whose name is Tammuz. Tammuz is a god of young unmarried women. These young unmarried women actually are devoted to Tammuz. They believe that Tammuz was killed by a boar, and his blood flows through a river. So this is a tragedy they know, and they laments the Tammuz's tragedy, and they worship Tammuz. So this is another example of deviation of human being. Another god I would like to name is Belial. Belial is a god who lives in cities, who lives in where people are drunk, where people actually celebrate wildly. He is the god of rich people, and he also deviates human being. So we see that these heathen gods had various functions, and they actually lead uh, the human being astray in various ways. They misguide human being. Actually, all these things happen. All these things take place at the order of Satan, and Satan thinks considers it a success of him. Anyways, later we see that Satan and his followers have got a piece of news that God is going to create a new land. Uh, Satan and his followers want to go to that new land, and they want to establish their position in that new land. So they want to make a plan, and to make their new plan, they actually felt they feel necessity of building a pandemonium. Pandemonium means a big house where they can sit together, and they can make plan. So Satan actually appointed an architect to make a big pandemonium. The name of the architect is Mammon, and Italian people call Mammon Malsiber. So actually, this person has two names. One is Mammon, and the other is Malsiber. Malsiber was a very good engineer in the hell. Actually, it is said that Malsiber built up uh, numerous tall and magnificent buildings in the heaven. So he is skilled and experienced in building tall and magnificent buildings. You already know that in the heaven he actually did tremendous work, and so he actually is going to build pandemonium. He has got assistance. He has received assistance from many other followers of Satan. I mean, other fallen angels help Satan. Actually, here other fallen angels have been compared to bee. Bees are very industrious. We all know. So Satan's followers, I mean, follower angels, work very hard, and they work devotedly to make the pandemonium at the order of their chief architect Malsiber. When the pandemonium is ready, Satan and his followers, his chief followers, set they are in the pandemonium, and they start to make their plan to you know to do their activities against God. And when pandemonium is ready, when Satan and his followers meeting goes on. Actually, the first book of Paradise Lost comes to an end. Thank you very much.